What's going on, everybody? Eric Pauly from the GoldSheet here, and today we're talking 3 anytime touchdown scorers for Sunday's NFL Week 1 slate. Let's dive right in. Starting off, Cardinals, Commanders, Antonio Gibson plus 250 to hit pay dirt at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this game has a very low total, but Washington has a very high team total, meaning that while the market is not expecting there to be a ton of points in this game, they're expecting this to be a one-sided affair with Washington doing most of the scoring against the lowly Cardinals. And it's easy to understand why. The Cardinals come in with one of the worst rosters in all of football. But why am I focusing on Gibson? This guy only had 5 TDs last season, but I expect him to actually take on a bigger role in the offense this year. The new offensive coordinator for the Commanders is Eric Bieniemy, and he comes over from the Kansas City Chiefs, who have done a lot of work utilizing running backs like Jerick McKinnon, who are not just traditional backfield running backs. They have the ability to be split out wide or in the slot. So considering that Gibson has a multifaceted skill set, Eric Bieniemy has the ability to take control of that skill set, and head coach Ron Rivera said out loud that they want the Commanders to establish the run and run the ball more often. That is a great situation for Gibson. Also pairing that, having a running back that is more of a weapon that can do all these things is a young quarterback's best friend. And with the bad Commanders O-line, you can expect a lot of check downs to Gibson out of the backfield. He could score in the air or on the ground. And last season, the Cardinals allowed the 5th most rushing touchdowns. And their defense, which was bad, got even worse. Moving on over to Minnesota, hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who else but Justin Jefferson to score a touchdown, plus 105. Last season, the Buccaneers defense allowed the 2nd most amount of touchdowns in the air in the NFL, and that is a unit that did not put a lot of stock in improving that secondary. Now, Justin Jefferson is an amazing player, and all eyes should be on Jefferson, but the addition of Jordan Addison is actually going to be a major help to Justin Jefferson. Now, while Adam Thielen was really good 2 years ago when Jefferson first got into the league, last year Jefferson had minimal help around him, and he still put up one of the best seasons for a wide receiver in NFL history. Now you have year 2 of Kevin O'Connell's system with Kirk Cousins, and they're familiar. And you know what they did with Jefferson last year to start off the season at home. He put on an absolute clinic against the Green Bay Packers. And we're talking about Justin Jefferson, who is a matchup nightmare to any defensive coordinator, any defensive player, and is simply the best wide receiver in the National Football League. He should be able to find pay dirt and pick up where he left off last season. Last but not least, we're going to Sunday Night Football. This is a chalky play, but one I love anyway. Tony Pollard of the Dallas Cowboys to hit the end zone. Now, I'm a big fan of Pollard's season-long rushing touchdown line, and I think he gets off to a hot start in the first game of the season. He was actually the real starting running back last year, even though Zeke was still in the mix. It really was the Tony Pollard show. And now that there is no Zeke involved, Pollard should be one of those overutilized weapon-type players in the NFL. Pollard could score in the air. Pollard could score on the ground. He is their lead running back who should be a funnel in the passing and rushing game for Dallas, which will lead to ample opportunity for him to get into the end zone. And not to overcomplicate things, we're going to do exactly what the head coaches of the teams told us. Kellen Moore, the old offensive coordinator, has moved on to the Chargers, and Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Cowboys, has said out loud that he wants the Cowboys to run the football more often. When they run the football more often, who is going to get that football? No other than Tony Pollard. He has no real threats behind him in the Dallas Cowboys backfield. So, quick recap. 3 anytime touchdown scores going from the biggest plus odds to the smallest. Antonio Gibson plus 250 Washington Commanders. Justin Jefferson plus 105 at Minnesota Vikings. And Sunday Night Football, Tony Pollard minus 135 against the New York Giants. Best of luck if you're betting and tailing. Best of luck on all your bets